Absolutely. Technical acuity.
Really?
100%.
Okay.
100%. Like, I put this thought exercise to someone recently. One of my engineering directors, she and I were talking about something. I don't remember exactly what it was about, but I basically asserted, I'm like, could you take an engineer out of school? You pick the school. Doesn't matter. Take the very best engineer you can find out of school. Have them read all of the blogs by all the famous systems bloggers at big scale systems at Dropbox and Google and Amazon and Microsoft and everywhere else. Have them read all the blogs, and would you trust them to go build the system that we were talking about this day? And she's like, well, no, of course not. And I'm like, what's the difference? The difference is experience, right? And the beginning part of your career, you should be laying a very wide-based foundation of technical acuity, 100%, because you're going to build most of the rest of your career on that. And learning, gaining that experience and building the intuition for what's right and wrong, it's intuition I rely on to this day. When I engage with my own engineering teams of like, is that direction on track? Have they hit their hard problems yet? Have they not? But it comes from that baseline experience of having spent years building products. I don't think it's just a conversation maybe you could or should have. I think it's a conversation you have to have. There's this concept, I want to read Hoffman's books called, I don't remember exactly which book it is, but he talks about this concept of tours of duty, basically. It's like you should enter into a job and after some period of time be really clear what you're here to accomplish and what you're getting out of it. Mostly in terms of learnings, and some it's also, career stage, comp, whatever, right? So what is the deal between us? And good employees that are managing their careers well will also have the conversation about what they're starting to think about that next tour duty could look like or should look like for them. Mm-hmm. So you're doing your manager a favor. It's like, okay, I know they're going to want to learn these kinds of things next, get this kind of scale next. I can start preparing them for that, teaching them the right things for that, and also arranging the organization to create opportunity for it. And so I think it's the responsibility people have to talk to their leadership about where they are in their tour of duty and what tour of duty they're looking for next. Will and curiosity. These are two things that I think, will is, some people talk about grit or some people talk about, getting stuff done or whatever, but will is this resilience to, I have a conviction, I have a conviction about an outcome, and I will just continue to move towards it no matter what's thrown at me. That's very valuable. The hard things, the hard thing about hard things is they're hard.
Good book.
Right? Yeah, it's a great book. And it takes often will to deal with the challenges that get thrown at you. And curiosity today, people talk about growth mindsets or learning and whatever, but it's always been the same thing. The people who are just naturally curious, like they get bored with what they already know, they tend to at that point learn more things.
Explorers in a sense.
Exactly, and you can pick up on that pretty quickly. These are things that you can learn. You can learn will. You can develop that as a muscle. You can learn curiosity. You can learn to stop your brain and force it to ask questions about what's going on around you. There aren't things that you have to necessarily be born with, and you have to have gone through the perfect school and the perfect place and whatever to have those characteristics. And if you have those things, a lot can be done with it. Yeah, so first of all, we have a strong internship program. So we're trying to reach down, down funnel, if you will, at schools and bring people in. We have dozens and dozens of interns we bring in every summer. We know because our restaurant called Tuck Shop becomes very difficult to get through the food lines there every summer. And then we have a standard process for how we source and bring in new hires, and it's across everything. It's data science, it's engineering, it's product management. And of course, a lot of the business functions, sales, finance, these kinds of things. So we're hiring hundreds of people every year, and we're always doing a mix between people coming out of school and more experienced people. Because I strongly believe that every company should have a program where they're able to capitalize on either growth or attrition and bring in basically new grads. Because you get this very fresh mind. Mm-hmm.